Dylan actually stayed and watched. Marianti knocked out on the couch.
I watched a good part of the beginning, middle-ish part of it.
I appreciated it.
It was good.
It's all right.
Yeah, it was good. I like the it's it's good shit.
Yeah.
You know? Like, imagine having a plate of, like, shit in front of you, but it's like, this is edible, and a chef made it. He just made it look like shit. And you're like, oh.
I kind of got what you were saying. Hold up. Welcome to the Joystick Show, episode 205. Fucking a great way to start that one.
Beautiful.
I'm with my best friends right now.
Yeah,
Feels great.
Wow. The boys.
I'm with my besties. We're having a good old time.
I like the boys better.
Very the boys. The bestie boys.
No.
Welcome to the Joystick Show. I said it once. I'm going to say it again. We're having a good old time. We're here for episode 205. We're going to be talking lots of fun stuff. Maybe some funny stuff. I don't know if we're going to get to that.
Oh.
You know, I don't know if we have it in us, but we'll see. If you want to know what we're talking about on this episode, it's right by my face. Here are the goals that we're going to get through. Feel free to like this episode of the show and subscribe to help the boys afloat, because we are we're sinking really fast here. We're just funneling money. What are we putting all our money into? This non-existent money?
Yes. I mean, like 80% of the budget
goes to
is just like overhead. And by that, I mean we're literally throwing the movie money over our heads. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I was setting Dylan up. Like, you had anywhere to go with that joke, and you went abstract with it, and I like it.
I mean, I went punny.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't go actually funny.
Let's start the show. All right.
No.
A lot of stuff to talk about. I say that a lot. I don't know. It's like a catchphrase of mine, but
and sometimes we do, and sometimes we don't. You really let us out.
We always do have a lot of stuff to talk about, though.
It's just
on average, it's just
like
the
quality.
Yeah,
it's just quality.
It's like, how important is this stuff, kind of thing.
Oh, it's never important.
No, it's important. But sometimes it's like structured, and other times we're just like, leaning back, talking about nonsense.
But those are my favorite ones.
Yeah, that's what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
This is my favorite nonsense.
We're doing it right now.
Far.
So point is, welcome to the Joystick Show, your favorite nonsense podcast. To start it off, I want to talk about something that we all did, which was a little party that one of us threw.
Right.
I don't remember the last time any of us really partook in a party. You know what I mean? At the same time, but it was a fun time. So let's let Joseph explain what went down last Friday.
Yeah, the Friday. I had a Friday the 13th themed party at my house. The reason I did it is because I've been so busy remodeling my backyard with my father, and I didn't get to have like a barbecue or a pool party like I normally did. And then I found out that it's the 40th anniversary to Friday the 13th Part 4, which within the community is the best one. I was like, oh shit. And there was a lot of events. There was screenings, but nowhere near here. There was like an actual tour at the camp. So I was like, this is like a big deal for people in the Friday the 13th community. So I said, you know what? I see these people on TikToks doing these like SpongeBob themed party where all my friends came as this, and I have this themed party. I looked at Tatiana. I said, you want to throw a party on Friday the 13th and like make it themed Friday the 13th? And she was like, that sounds fun. Let's do that. And we'll throw up some pictures of what we have. But it went really well. I was very stressed. I love the ideas of parties. I love like creating themes and all this stuff. But like a few hours before you guys arrived, I was like so stressed to make sure. I'm like, okay, is this placed? Is this? Do we have enough food? Is there enough drinks? I was like, I was really anxious to make sure everything is like prepared and cleaned and ready.
So on Thursday night before your party, I was playing video games by myself when somebody at this table joined my PlayStation party at like midnight. That person being Dylan. That already was like almost a red flag, because Dylan never joins our parties. So I was like, whoa, what the fuck is this about? Then Dylan did something even more rare than joining the party. He talked. Oh shit! So I was like, what the fuck? So Dylan,
the stars aligned. Yeah.
So Dylan asked me. He was like, Marianti asked me to ask you what to expect at Joey's party. And literally, I think the exact words I said to Dylan was like, I have no fucking idea, but if Joey's throwing it, it's gonna be good. I was like, he puts enough effort and enough attention into a themed party to make it like, make it cool. And I feel like part of that comes from like, I was thinking about it when I was at the party, right? It's like your parents are the perfect combination. You get like that. I don't even think this is a word, but carpenterial mindset from your father about like how to make things work, that visionary, creative, outlook. And then you've got like the youth group side of your mom of like how to fucking put it all together and explain how things are working. So it's like a very informative but fun party. You know what I mean? It's hard to explain. But cool. It was cool. It was lit.
No, I was telling Tatiana when we were setting everything up and just like chilling in the backyard, I said, bro, our parents really like hosted a lot of parties now that I think about it. Like every youth group event, every party that they themselves thrown. It was like there was a lot. And I said, I think a part of my like anxiety that's happening to make sure everything's like okay is because it feels like we have to like continue that or something. Like I want to make sure it's good.
Yeah.
Well, it's definitely above and beyond. It's
Thanks. I'm glad. I actually thought you guys was like, all right, it's all right.
No, it was a good time.
Well, even if it was shit, it would still be like,
we're still just chilling.
Cool.
Yeah,
chilling,
cool.
But it's like
I'm glad.
Definitely an added-on thing where it's like
a couple of people asked. They were like, "Oh, is Jose coming?" And I was like, "Knowing Jose, he's not gonna fucking show up for anything, let alone a theme party." But
I actually talked to him yesterday. He was like, "I didn't even know."
It was a fun. Fucking Joy put it in the chat. He's just an idiot. But it was a fun fucking party. I had a very, very good time. It was dope as fuck. Yeah, what was I gonna say? The homemade cocktails were lit. My favorite personally was the Camp Blood.
That was good.
My mother's already telling me you're gonna make that when we have our Halloween party, like which you guys are also invited. She's like, bring that back. Like bring that back. That was really good. I was like, okay, sure.
Me and Mildred think we found our Halloween costume, but I'll get to that later.
I love that talk.
Fucking what else? I wanted to say more about the party. Fucking.
You played the games?
What games? Oh, I did the archery thing. Yeah, I got a bullseye. No one saw it, but I did get it, and I want people to know that.
So did I.
Shut up.
That logic.
But it was a good time. It was a good vibe. Shout outs to the Friday the 13th party. And who's gonna throw the next theme party? Who's gonna be?
Jerry.
I don't know.
Jerry's.
Yeah, we didn't watch the movie. I thought we were gonna watch the movie, to be honest.
I put on the movie. I think
He put it at the end.
That was at the end.
Dylan
right.
actually stayed and watched. Marianti knocked out on the couch.
I watched a good part of the beginning, middle-ish part of the movie.
Appreciated it.
It was good.
It's all right.
Yeah, it was good. I like the movie. It's good shit.
Yeah.
You know? Like imagine having a plate of like shit in front of you, but it's like this is edible and a chef made it. He just made it look like shit. And you're like,
I kind of got what you were saying, and then I was like, what?
Lost him there.
It wasn't shit. That's the whole point. Yeah.
But anyway, it was fun. Also on the topic, like I said, I got my Halloween costume idea pretty locked in, and it's because your boy's been sick, but I'm finally not sick anymore. It feels great. I'm like I can truthfully say 100% again. I'm just getting the phlegm out at this point. But in being sick, I did something that I hadn't done in a very long time, which was lay in bed and watch a shit ton of movies that came out in the 2000s for whatever reason. So I wanted a big 2000s binge. First off, this chapter is just going to be called like movies Bobby watched while he was sick or some shit. 'Cause there's just too many to go through. But fucking right off the bat, High School Musical. One, right? What a movie. What a film this is, right? It doesn't get enough credit, may I add. I'll say this. As someone who hasn't watched the first High School Musical in like 10 plus years, it's been a very long time.
I would hope, yeah.
Like, I've admittedly watched High School Musical 2 like 15 times because it's fire as hell. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. And I saw High School Musical 3 with my mom because she made me go watch it with her. But nice. I enjoyed it, let the record show. But I hadn't seen really one in like a very long time. That movie's very weird to watch now. It's like I think what it is like the legacy of the movies, right? It's High School Musical, right? Like Zac Efron and Vanessa Hudgens, and it was in the theaters. But like the first movie was a direct-to-TV movie, right? It's not like a good movie. It's just like fucking specifically what I'm getting at. There's like have you seen High School Musical?
Yeah, yes.
You know the musical number,
years ago.
the status quo. It's like the one where the stick to the status quo. It's like the big musical number where all the high school students are in it. It's kind of meant to be like the big ensemble number.
Mm-hmm.
But what's really funny is if you watch that scene and you don't pay attention to like the main characters, you just pay attention to like everyone else on the side. Half of them are treating this like their life is on the line. Like they have a gun to the back. Like you're like, ah, you know. And the other half are fucking like they have no facial reaction at all. It's so fucking great to watch. But that's the first half of that. I wanted to shout out High School Musical. I believe shout out to the voice crack. Me and Mildred are gonna be Troy and Gabriella. So I gotta get like the East High jersey and a basketball and do that whole thing. I'm keeping the beard though.
Gotta get your head in the game.
Exactly. And the other one I watched, which I really want to talk about.
Okay.
Mr. Deeds is a great fucking
Oh
movie.
yeah, fantastic.
Mr. Deeds
movie.
is a fantastic.
10 out of 10 movie.
I haven't watched Mr. Deeds since I was like 11 years old, and I have so much to say about it.
What is this movie?
You know
Mr. D's?
Mr. Deeds.
Deeds.
You know
It's
Adam
not Anger
Sandler.
Management. It's not Little Nicky.
Adam Sandler. Mr.
It's
Deeds.
not 51st Dates.
You don't know Mr. Deeds? Oh my god! This was like the first Adam Sandler movie I ever watched when I was like a kid. Yeah.
The movie's fucking good, guys.
It came out in 2002 when we were like 6, basically. Long story short, it's based on like a super old movie called, I think, Mr. Deeds Goes to Town or something like that. But the movie is about some super rich media tycoon who dies at like 80 something, and he has no kids. So all his money gets inherited to like a super far out ancestor he never even met, who's played by Adam Sandler. And this guy's just like a super small town pizzeria owner who's super wholesome, looks out for the community, looks out for his fellow
fun.
man. And when he gets like $40 billion, it really doesn't change his life. He's just like, oh cool, wicked, I didn't even know. Like, you know, he's like, he goes through life and people are like, he's like, the Jets fucking suck. And they're like, you own the Jets. And he's like, I do? Like, it's like stupid shit like that. But the thing is when I watched it as a kid, you have to keep in mind, it was like 2002. We were literally like 6 years old. So there's a lot of jokes in the movie that as a kid, you watch it and you go, that's bad. Like, that's a racy thing, you know? Mm-hmm. So I remember like a couple of more times as I watched it in my youth, even like up until like 12, 13, probably the last time I watched it, I remember like watching those jokes and being like, oh my God, it's like so bad. Now that I'm 27 years old and I watch the movie back, obviously none of the jokes in it are like really that bad at all. In fact, it's probably one of the more tame Adam Sandler movies. Mm-hmm. But I watch it with like this feeling of cringe where like I know the scene is coming up and I'm almost like I don't remember what's going to happen. Then it happens and I'm like, what the fuck was little Bobby like fucking worried about? It's like a big black woman on top of Adam Sandler, and little me was like, ooh, it's like sex or something like that. And then I watch it now, and it's like not even sexual. But point is, the movie's actually pretty fun. I really like it a lot. I like the twist at the end of it. Has one of the best soundtracks of all time. I know people like to make that joke that Adam Sandler uses like the same songs in all his movies. This is like the penultimate version of that. It's like every song he's ever used is all in this movie. It's like Dave Matthews Band, Casey and the Sunshine Band, all of the 80s is just in this movie. So
I need to watch
shout outs to that. It's a good movie. It's a great flick. It's like, it's my new sick movie, I think. Mm-hmm. And then the last one, a movie that I hope we've all watched here, Benchwarmers.
Yeah.
Oh, classic. Yeah. I was literally just talking about this movie like with my parents.
And the last thing I wanted to talk about in my little session of sick movies and branching out from Benchwarmers is what the fuck happened to John Heater? John Heater literally, like, no pun intended.
Oh, I mean, he popped off and then left.
Yeah, he had like fucking no pun intended, like 4 heaters in a row and like just dipped. Like he had Napoleon Dynamite. He did Blades of Glory. He did Benchwarmers. He did Surf's Up. I think he did Monster House. All in like that same time. And then he was like, "Oh, I'm out."
He made his money and
it's like a family man.
He was I know MTV tried to bring back Napoleon Dynamite but make it animated.
It was Fox.
Yeah.
He was. They were all. Like the whole cast.
They came back for that. That was the last thing I heard that he was doing.
Yeah,
I saw a post recently that he has like a twin brother.
Yeah, you put it in the chat.
Yeah, and the guy that plays Pedro also has a twin brother.
Yeah. And they bumped into each other.
They bumped into each other, and they
people
didn't know
thought
each
that
other.
their twins were them, but they had to be like, no,
we just look like
exactly like them. Yeah.
That's great.
And I also found out that John Heater speaks fluent Japanese. So And then I just pictured it in his voice. Arigato. Like, it's just great. But anyway, those are that's the sick review. If I had to go through it real quick,
Sick
High School
review.
Musical. I'm gonna give High School Musical a 6 out of 10.
Wow. Okay.
I'm gonna give. There's a lot of room for improvement. All right, High School Musical 2 is like an 8 out of 10. So
Yeah, that's when they got their shit together.
Fucking. We'll give Mr. Deeds an 8 out of 10,
All right.
and we'll give Benchwarmers an
10
8 out
out
of 10. I think it's an equal 8 out of 10. So that's
Cool.
that's the rapid fire review. Maybe that's what it's called.
Rapid fire.
Yeah, you gotta.
Sick.
You know, you gotta do a whole gun animation now.
Do I?
Yeah, smoke.
Ready to watch.
Make the text smoke.
I just shot the screen.
Oh,
It's-
shit.
It's cracked and everything.
Let's
So
fix
violent.
it real quick.
Hold on. Oh, Dylan, put your hand and like wipe it. Now it's fixed. There we go. The power of editing. Love it. Joey also wanted to talk about something that I want to jump on.
So as I'm helping my father like remodel the backyard, he puts on his playlist, which is a very interesting playlist, might I add. We'll go from like musicals to like 80s rap to like all these different genres. It never stays the same. And then there was like a good like 2 songs back to back where it was just like Christian music because he was a part of the youth group. So I'm listening to these like Christian songs, and some of them are like very country. And I look at my dad and I said, you know what's interesting? I said, like, the story of Jesus and where it takes place, this is in like Jerusalem. And here are these people that are like Jesus Christ, but like hate people that kind of look, there's a shade darker than them.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I always found that fun. And then as I said that, it locked into my brain, like it unlocked a memory that there was a place, I always called it Jesus Land in Florida. And it was basically these huge walls set up to look like Jerusalem. And it was a giant like amusement park to make it replicate what it was like to be in Jerusalem during Jesus' time.
Oh, that's terrible.
How amazing does that sound, Dylan?
That sounds
It's
not
the Holy
fun.
Land, baby.
So it was called the Holy Land Experience, opened in like 2001, and I never been there, but I always passed it. And my mom, being the faithful woman that she is, she was like, "That looks interesting. We should go one day." We never did, but it's closed now. But oh my God, where was I going with this? It opened and then it closed. No, but the experience was you walked in, they had like replica models of what it looked like. They had actors, there were performers, all the shopkeepers would like have the lingo and like gold scattered, like to really sell it. Like you were like, oh, you were back in time. And I told it, I was thought about that and I was like, did they have like the right like ethnicities for all those characters, or were they all just like white people and like raps?
It's Orlando, Florida.
If
Joey.
if it's Florida, I'd also assume that it's a lot of Hispanics too.
Yeah.
It's just wrapped up.
It's all this fucking.
Welcome to Jerusalem. Man.
Hey man.
Hey man, Jesus was here.
Hey,
you just
man.
missed him.
You brought gold, frankincense, and myrrh, man. Fucking. What were we gonna say?
How do you know this place?
No, yeah. I don't remember how long ago, but it was a while ago, probably 7-8 years ago. Went to Florida, was with my cousin. We were driving by, and we passed by the Holy Land Experience because it closed. It closed a really, really long time ago, but it was still up for a long time. They demolished it like a few years back.
Yeah.
So you could still drive through the stuff. And when you go to like Orlando, Florida, especially when you're at the theme park,
I probably
district,
passed it and not.
No, yeah, but like when you're at the theme park district, you see like all the some of the bigger rides and attractions at other parks. So like if you're driving near Disney, Disney's probably less one, it's more secluded. But if you're driving by like Universal, you'll see like the Hulk coaster from the distance because it's so tall and out of the way, right? That was very similar to the Holy Land Experience, except it's like these, like you said, like these tall like stone like walls where it just looked like this whole chunk of fucking Orlando was like a caveman experience or something like that. But I didn't know what it was, and I asked my cousin, and he gave me like the whole spiel. He's like he works for like the attraction business and stuff out there, and it blew my mind. Like I didn't, like, again, like Joey said, I never knew about it. I immediately went on YouTube and started looking up things, and immediately wrote stand-up jokes about it, which I'm now going to recycle here on this podcast because I never got a chance to. Because one thing that's very important to note is that this place actually didn't have rides, and I think that's why they closed, you know? I think there should have definitely been a Stations of the Cross 40 experience. That'd have been fantastic. You know, you really feel the intensity of what that was like. You're telling me Moses parting the Red Sea wouldn't make an amazing water park ride? That would be fucking fire. All right. I don't know what the coaster would be. This would be like Dylan's territory. Maybe Jesus' temptation in the desert.
I was
That'd
thinking,
be trippy as fuck.
And you're the serpent. I was going for Adam and Eve, the serpent, avoiding the serpent or something like that.
I was thinking more of just like it'd be like the Mummy, where it was like an indoor like stone kind of cavey coaster.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's the resurrection of Christ, and then the drop is
It's the stations, is the death. It's all
it's
all hunky dory, and then fucking backwards roller coaster through hell.
Yep,
But then you ascend.
crazy.
I feel like this theme park would also have a bunch of non-fucking themed rides. There's just like some carny stuff, you know?
No, like realistically,
Yeah.
all it would really have to be
It's like-
is it'd be like fucking
Yeah. It's
game
like-
stalls and fucking like a merry-go-round that
Yeah,
probably has
it's like that. There's a mouse coaster. It's like, what does that have to do with Jesus?
exactly.
It's like,
It's a holy mouse. Like,
Look, it's a pirate ship. Those were around back then, I think.
it's a pirate ship, but it has crosses on it. It's like, yeah, see, it's religious. Yeah.
It's a merry-go-round. They had horses and Roman fucking carriages back then. Look.
Here's a stone. Go stone that woman. Throw it.
That's
Go
the
ahead.
real ride.
Oh shit! It's
Like
a.
and then there's a dunk tank too, and that person's getting.
That's
dunked.
exactly what I was thinking, but
Into
it's no
stones.
dunk tank. It's just the person in the stone. It's just like he's just
dunk
really
tank.
far away, and you gotta try to hit him.
Man, Florida.
Oh my god!
Florida, man.
Yeah, they got some good stuff out there. If you made a theme park, what would the theme be?
Ooh, that's actually.
I think I've thought of this once, but Dylan, yeah.
I don't think I have. I would make it obviously like, kind of do it like food related.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like a Knott's Berry Farm, kind of in California.
Okay, yeah.
I think I'd go that direction.
Or like a Hershey Park.
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
thing?
exactly. See.
It'd be like a Wonka Park or something.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be like
Because there's branding.
oh no, Haribo Park. There you go.
Trolley Land.
Haribo Haven. Hit me up, Haribo. We'll make that work. We can
It's
work out.
terrible.
Yeah,
You can
we're
work
gonna
out
need
the
like
details.
a Candyland.
Bro, they hung up the
amusement
phone.
park.
They didn't get an in-person meeting for
Guys,
that one.
a sour sketty coaster. Hear me out.
To be honest, like a Willy Wonka themed park sounds fun.
Yeah,
Like
that'd pop off.
I know they tried doing that at Glasgow. Like where was it? Scotland.
1 in 5 kids drown in chocolate.
Wow.
But like if they actually made like a legit theme park all year round, not just an experience, like based off Willy Wonka, like the Candyland, the factory, like I think it would pop off.
I can't see that being its own park, but I could see it being like a subsection of like how
Yeah.
Universal does their thing, like a little chocolate factory area.
They need to join a universe.
Yeah,
They need
right.
a joint universe.
The Burtonverse. That'd be what it'd be. They could do that too. Tim Burton has like enough like movies that he's directed at this point that you could do stuff with. Fucking what was the last thing I was gonna say? Oh yeah, my theme park would be Line World, and it's just a theme park of lines.
Can I buy a fast pass to get on a
You can.
somewhat shorter
line, and it's that much more thrilling.
It's
of
a
an
fast
experience.
pass ride.
Yeah.
Did you know that there's a fast pass for the fast pass?
Yeah.
I saw that.
What,
that was the
at-
first time I saw that.
At Universal or Disney?
It's at Six Flags because I got tickets
Oh,
to
I
go to
don't know.
Six Flags, and it was like, here's the fast.
We don't
pass,
go to Six Flags.
And here's the fast pass ultra, which is like. It's faster, and then there's like fast pass, the flash
I mean,
pass.
to be
Platinum.
honest, this is way better than Disney's whole system from 2022 to 2024.
I don't know how Disney's
Because
system works.
Disney came out with a whole app called Genie Plus,
Yeah.
where if you have to log on at 7 a.m. to claim 3 free rides, and then every hour you can then queue up for another ride.
Disney said, you know what's? I have a great idea. We're gonna create the most fun place in the world, where there's gonna be rides and attractions and parades every day. And you know what's way more fun? We're gonna make you have to schedule appointments for all of it. You want to get on a ride? Schedule an appointment.
Meet Mickey?
You want to eat at a fucking
Mickey,
schedule an
2:45. You show up at 50, they kick you out the fucking door.
It's
Mickey
the
Mouse is
shittiest
just like,
fuck your kid.
yeah, literally.
That's wild.
Parade, it's like, this is your spot. You can't see shit.
You can't move from this spot until 4 hours from now because it's gonna get packed.
Universal has an interesting system. They still con you, but I think it's the best. they have an express pass where every ride has like a shorter line that you can go on, and it's pretty significantly short. Like in the most case, it'd be the difference of waiting online for an hour or waiting online for 15 minutes. So
yeah, that's
pretty
usually,
important.
That's the.
But they also have like the express pass unlimited, and the only difference is like with the regular one, you can only use it once per ride. With the unlimited, you can use it as many times as you want per ride, and it's like significantly more expensive. I think back in the day they didn't have that. It was like if you had the express pass, you could use it as much as you want. Yeah, but. Fucking
you gotta make a tier. Nothing better than a tiered system. Mm-hmm. Nothing better.
I want to be higher than the people below me.
Because sports games do this too. Then you get the base game, you get the super edition, and then you have the ultimate MVP Hall of Fame, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James.
What's
dunking.
the difference? Like you're getting closer.
You just get more like stuff. You get like virtual currency.
Yeah,
back in the day, you would get like the ultimate would be like it would come with like an action figure, or like it'd be like
so you just get more shit to go with.
Yeah, I mean
some physical merchandise.
Yeah, I mean there was a ton of that. Like super ultimate editions, you get like a silver bookcase and something for the game. Back when we had digital copies of games. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a common thing.
Fucking. Also, I was gonna say, now that Universal's coming out with a third park, they're gonna jip us out of even more money. But hopefully, this channel blows up overnight. And we have enough money to go together. That'd be fun.
The park. Actually, no. We go there and we blow up because someone at this table decides to fall off the Minion roller coaster.
Why did Dylan look at me when he said that?
I was kind of thinking Joey. He's kind of lanky. It would be kind of dramatic.
Fall out of the coaster.
You can do the double jointed thing.
My friend did nothing wrong. I was like, why am I? It's a court case, bro.
Last theme park related thing about Universal. No, because this is it's actually a pretty funny story to me. I went to I'm just gonna say this very how do I say this, just like legally tiptoeing it, because I technically did a no. Let's just say I went to a theme park in Universal Florida. That's not a place. I literally just said the park I went to.
But that I like how the city in Florida is the universe.
Universal Florida.
Universal City.
Yeah, so I went to the World Orlando, and I went to a theme park, and somebody that I went with to this park was able to bring in with them a weed pen, right? Mm-hmm. So this was an interesting experience where, like, you get high, and then you go on rides, which sometimes is cool, and sometimes is not cool. Where you're like,
when was it not cool?
Oddly enough, like the Ratatouille ride really fucked me up. That one I didn't like that much. You're like really small, they shrink it down. You're like in the kitchen. You're like, yeah, I'm like, oh, I'm getting stepped on. Like, what the fuck, But it's pretty cool.
I'm really small.
Yes, I left my hat on that ride. I never got it back. I was really upset about that. And the fucking spaceship ride. Oh, I fucking hated
Space
that.
Mountain?
No. I've never been on Space Mountain. I'm mad about that. They have like a ride at Epcot where it's like you're like an astronaut. And They send you to space, and it's supposed to emulate like the G-force of being on the rocket going up. But the way they do it is, you ever been on the rides at the shitty carnivals where it's like the thing that spins around really fast and you stick to the wall kind of thing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's what they do, but they kind of blind you from the spinning thing so that it just feels like you're going forward, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. But I think what fucked me up is the person that I went with, shout outs to Cassie, she works there, and she kind of like spilled the beans for me on how it works. So I went into it knowing that we were spinning, and that just fucked me up. I didn't like that at all. But last things last, when I was at the main thing I wanted to talk about is I was on a ride at this park, and it was me and two other people, one of whom was my dad. Me and my dad, my cousin. Who gives a fuck? One of us had it. Who knows? We get on this ride, or rather, we get on the line for the ride. We have the express passes, but we get all the way to the top, and then the ride malfunctions. And if you ever seen that, they have to like make sure every car goes through. It's like a super long fucking process. It takes like 20 extra minutes. So I remember at one point my dad is getting frustrated. He's like, fuck it, I'm going back downstairs. And I told him, I was like, just be patient. Just give it like 5 more minutes. And sure enough, they're starting to let people back in, and we're like, all right, cool. So we were getting on the ride, and they let us go up, like, they group you together so you can get on the same car. They put my dad and I together in the front, but the way that this ride goes is it's like 2, and they lock you in with like those shoulder straps, and it kind of like locks you in, so you can't really like turn around or anything. So I'm like, woo, we go on the ride. It's like super fun. It's lit as fuck. Keep in mind, I'm lit as fuck. The ride finishes, and I'm literally like, that was sick. Oh my god. And now we're like, docking back in, and I'm like, me and my dad are like high-fiving, and I go to like high-five my cousin. and just nothing. There's like nothing there, and I'm like, wasn't that sick? Woo! So finally, they let us off the ride, and we turn around, and nobody was in the car with us, and my cousin is nowhere to be seen. So naturally, I'm like, all right, they just put him on the one behind us. So we get off the ride, and I'm starting to look, and like car after car, like 4 cars go by, and I'm like, where the fuck did he go? And now I'm like, he got flung off the ride. And in my head, he's like in the marshes of fucking Orlando, Florida somewhere, just like in a tree or something. But then sure enough, here he comes, and he's like, oh no, they just put me like 5 cars behind you guys. And I was like, why? He was like, I don't know. But I was like, I was genuinely scared. I was like, did he fly off this roller coaster? That's what I thought. Thought he was on a building somewhere, but he's cool. He's chilling in Florida. He's vibing. Anyway, fucking anybody want to talk about something that's not Florida?
I don't know, man. You're just setting us up for roller coasters. You didn't really give us any other segue than that.
I'm probably just like subliminally trying to tell you guys that I want to like ride roller coasters.
Yeah.
I'm down. I haven't been on a roller coaster in a while.
Six Flags New England.
I'm down.
Six Flags the Joey one.
Yeah, that's different from the one that my family's cursed at, so it'll probably work.
Is that different? Like because it's a different Six Flags.
I think so. Right? I think so. I'd be willing to take it.
You're gonna be the pioneer.
I'll be the trailblazer. Anyway, there were some good fights this weekend.
Yeah, there was some pretty good fights.
Some wrestling, some MMA, some poop.
Yeah.
Some stuff I saw at the Waffle House.
Jerry, what happened on the MMA side of things?
On the MMA side of things, there were 5 fights, I think, or there were 7 fights, 5 or 7, I don't remember. But there
Six
were
Flags.
Stupid. But that there had a Mexican fighter in them, and for the Mexican fighters, basically like they gave them like somebody ranked a little bit lower than them so that they could hopefully take the win.
And it was Mexican Independence.
It was Mexican Independence Day. It's Noche UFC, so it was like it was a whole themed thing
celebrating Mexican.
And it was in the Sphere in Vegas, so they had a whole like interactive like evolving it was insane.
It must have been popping
It was
off.
pretty cool, but you can't really see how cool it is from like a stream.
Real quick, I'll put it here. Joe Rogan actually put like a POV video of his perspective walking in from like backstage, and it's fucking sick. So I'll just put it here so you can see.
Oh, that's cool. I'm gonna check it out.
But anyway, so they did not do well.
Yeah.
I think they only won like 2 of the 5 or 7.
Yeah, we should have bet on that.
Yeah, it wasn't great. But the Chihuihuis guy, he won.
Chihuihuis?
Yeah, you don't know the Chihuihuis guy?
I don't know.
He has like a crazy jaw, bro.
Wow.
Jose was just telling me about it. He has like a jaw, like a facial structure that's from like it's like a disease. I forget. It's like Hamburg disease or something like that.
Okay.
But anyways, there was this one fight. It was these women fighters, bro. It was probably the most violent fight, like one of the most violent fights I've seen. She had like a cut that goes like from like the middle of her forehead like down to like here. Ugh. It was just like a crater of like from like a knee. Yeah, it was insane.
Oh my God.
I couldn't. It was like one of those where you're like, oh, I kind of don't want to look anymore. But I
put on.
It's on. I have to look.
I put on the UFC fight night last night for a little bit on my computer, and Mildred was watching when another girl fight. I think it was the co-main event. It was the one right before
Grasso
the O'Malley fight. And
Shevchenko.
Mildred was watching like the first couple rounds, and she was like, do they even get like really aggressive, the women? And I was like, I think they get more aggressive than the men.
They kind of do. I'm gonna be honest.
I was trying to explain it to Mildred. I told her, I was like, and
they're
I don't.
way faster too.
I told her, I was like,
feel each other out.
And I told her, I was like, I'm not trying to say this is like like just a guy, but I was like, I think they do fight with more emotion than men do, and it translates to just brutality sometimes, where they're just like they want to fuck each other up, and I'm like, all right, go for it, cool.
She would have seen the other fight, bro. She wouldn't say that shit.
Yeah, word.
Some of the most brutal fights I've seen are like the ones that just happen to be on the like in between like the headlining fights for women.
And then Sugar Sean O'Malley got destroyed.
Yeah,
that was
he
hilarious. By a little Eastern European man.
Yeah,
that was fun. But anyway, more importantly than that,
yeah,
there's a boxing night. Bam, bam. There's a big boxing fight between Edgar Berlanga, Puerto Rican boxer, born in Brooklyn. Actually, his family lives in my grandmother's building in Bushwick, so shout out to the community. Also our age, who fought an absolute legend in the boxing world, Canelo Alvarez, in actually what might have been one of my favorite fights I've seen in a very long time. To surmise it real quick, I think I said it before the podcast started. It was Edgar's first title fight. It was like Canelo's fucking 30-something. So there's a definite difference, not only in skill, but just in overall, like, experience, right?
Right.
But to give Edgar credit, this guy's no joke. Like, I think he has serious potential for his future. Like, he still hasn't hit his prime, both in age and in athleticism yet. He was 22-0 before the fight, 17 knockouts, so an impressive ratio there. And then, like, his first 6 fights all ended in the first round. So he has just an insane power, insane KO power. But, like, how do you KO Canelo Alvarez? Like, this guy is just all neck. Like, he's not going down. Like, you just can't. He's a fucking stone wall.
If you're going to lose to anyone,
you might as well, right? But point is, dude got absolutely bodied, but in a respectable way, if that makes any sense. Like, he didn't win any round, but, like, he fought. Like, he didn't run, he didn't clinch. Like, it was an all-out battle. It was a fucking war, but it was a really fun fight to watch. It just made me, like, appreciative of the time I've gotten to watch boxing, but more specifically, like, Canelo, because, like, it's getting to a point where, like, these boxers are getting old now. Like, Mayweather's done, Pacquiao's done, and it's like Canelo's getting up there. It's
yeah,
like,
he's about like 34 or something like that.
So fucking, I think he might even be older than that. But point is, shout outs to Canelo, fucking fantabulous fight, super fun to watch. Also shout outs to Edgar, it was good on his part, and I like that he repped the neighborhood. That was pretty dope. But like I mentioned, even if you're Puerto Rican, if you're fighting Canelo, I'm Mexican that night. I don't give a fuck. It was all Viva Mexico last night. It was like woo. Still kind of
it was not in our favor.
Still
it wasn't in the stars for us to win this fight.
Yeah, I was telling your dad, I was like, you watched the fight? He was like, yeah, I got it recorded here, you jumped.
He's so hyped. Oh man, we didn't get to do NFL predictions.
Oh yeah, because today is Sunday. I mean, we'll do next week.
Yeah, we'll leave it for that. Don't worry, we have something planned.
Well,
for
no,
that.
but we have to do it
like now.
Yeah, I mean at the end of this episode, right? Because are we gonna?
But what if we film like Friday next week and then Sunday doesn't happen? That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So we'll just skip a week. You know?
Yeah.
We have an idea for. I think Dylan and I mentioned it. No, like because the original
idea. It'll be ongoing.
The original idea to explain what the NFL pick thing was going to be is like every week we were going to pick like a team for that Sunday, and then like Joey's team lost, so he was going to be eliminated, and then it would be the three of us until it was one person standing. But a different alteration that I made that makes it last longer and makes it so that Joey isn't like instantly out is that we do it like weekly, or I guess in this case bi-weekly, and then at the end of the regular season, whoever had the most right picks wins the trophy, which is also in the works. That needs to be made. And I'm going to be mad if I don't win it. I want. Point is, that's how the NFL picks will work.
Gross.
And shout out to the Miami Dolphins, who have had 2 hell of a weeks when it comes to the NFL, man. Just fucking Tyreek Hill getting arrested pre-game into their quarterback getting concussed just like immediately.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, I mean it's like the 4th or 5th time it's happened now. Why are we surprised? It's gonna happen. He'll be back in a few weeks.
Yeah, everybody's saying everybody's telling him to retire. Be like that though,
I was telling my dad about the Tyreek Hill incident, and I said that after that same week he scored a touchdown, and his teammates came and they tackled him and they were pretending to arrest him. They were like, "Get on the ground!" And he
literally scored. Yeah, he put himself in cuffs, and then they were like pushing,
and they walked him off.
Which is my favorite part because they released the body cam footage. Is like there's like 2 very obvious aggressive cops that are like have way too big of an ego problem, but the cop whose actual body cam is recording it, like initially when he walks up, he's like, "That's Tyreek Hill." Like he says it to himself, and he doesn't do anything, bro. He doesn't say anything. He doesn't do anything. He's just like, and even when I don't know who it is, but somebody stops ahead and like they're trying to like help Tyreek out, it's another player, and they tell that guy to like move his car or he's gonna get arrested. But the guy who's filming, he's like being mad nice. He's like, "Hey man, look, you gotta go." And then the guy who's an ego problem is like, "No, now you gotta move. You get arrested." And the guy's I can just imagine what that guy must be like. Like, bro, do you know who you're arresting right now, bro? He's on his way.
Shut up.
That guy was probably that guy was probably mad hype. He's like, "I'm on the right." He's like, "Release my body cam." Yeah. He's like, I'm on the hype. He's like, "I didn't do anything. I'm chilling."
No, for 100% you're right.
He's like, "I'm chilling." He's like, "I saw Tyreek Hill. They didn't fucking know."
He didn't know whether to be like, "Guys, stop," because his body cam was on, and he didn't know like, I'm just gonna be neutral. I'm just gonna be filming this from my nipple right here.
Thank you,
That's where all the cams are.
I think the cops were just. I think they were just Bucks fans.
Also, as someone who
Yeah.
doesn't know anything about football, does football do like mid-season trades, or is it all out
You
of
can do trades up until week 6 or week 8.
Ooh, I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
It's not common.
Gotcha.
Usually, it's just like if you have extra guys or something.
Cool.
Yeah.
Curious to know about that. I'm a football beginner. I'm learning.
I never got that in sports where it was like, we're going to trade this guy from a different state to play for this state, even though he's never been there. I was like, I never understood that.
What do you mean?
Well, no one's from any of their states.
Yeah, no one's never.
Yeah, but it's
I-
actually a thing. Like, some sports people like sell each other their houses and shit because they have to like relocate their whole
Yeah,
fucking
basically, I get that. But I was like, I don't know. I just thought they were going to be like born and raised in that state. We're sending our best from this state. That's
No.
us. And it's like, no, it's
It's
this guy's from
never
here.
like
that
It's
guy's
the
from here.
only thing that's like that is Little League World Series. That's the
Yeah.
only thing that's like.
Or like if they do like not even like states actually.
No,
Yeah,
that's colleges. They
yeah,
they don't even do. That's
Like it's very rare that like a player goes to play for their home team. Like it happened with LeBron.
yeah.
And that's probably it, maybe.
It's whoever drafts you.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Because you have to keep in mind, there's always going to be a team that gets the first pick,
Mm-hmm.
and it doesn't matter.
It's
like, who the
always
team
usually
is.
like a fucking
A bad
D
team.
Not a good team either. So they're
Okay.
going to get the best player available. And if the best player is from like New York and the shittiest team that season was like Texas, he's
They'll
going to
pick-
Texas.
Mm-hmm.
So
So is it legit like when they pick at school, like, I want him on my team? Is it legit like that when they get to trade, like the people that own the teams?
it's
'Cause
well, I
that's
mean,
what it sounded like when you were describing.
keep in
it.
mind,
This is
this is a whole thing.
This is like 8 steps. You got like
Yeah.
you got a
But
lot
so
to
just
learn.
skip it. Just skip it.
Well,
No.
I'll try to surmise it in like basketball terms.
Okay, how about
'cause
this? Bobby explains it, and I'll tell if
Yeah,
Bobby was right.
Yeah. So like in basketball, when there's like drafts, which is the first part of this is like when new players are coming in from like colleges.
That's
or,
how
like,
you can acquire players.
That's how like
yeah,
new players
I knew
get
that.
into the
There's a
NBA.
reason they're like.
After they're in the NBA, players can be traded. Sometimes they can even be traded that night, and it happens very frequently.
Yeah.
Where like a player will be selected by the Knicks, and then the Knicks will like go to another team and be like, "Do you want this guy?" And then the guy who just got drafted by that team is not even playing for that team now.
Yeah.
But more specifically, how like regular trades would happen, like in a season or off season for the NBA. Let's say you have X player who plays really good for a team, but that team sucks because his teammates just aren't benefiting with him around, or yada yada yada.
And let's just say, at the end of this year, his contract runs out, and we're
Yeah.
gonna have to pay him more money. We don't even want to do that.
And then you have this team that has just like 10 really like decent players, maybe not up to his level, but if you send 3 of those decent players over here, their salaries match up to this really good X player who now fits better on this team, and this team has 3 new players to work with.
Yeah.
So it's less about thinking about it like person to person, and I hate to say it, you really have to look at it like a monetary value
Assets.
and like assets.
Yeah.
Like, what am I getting out of this? And most of the time, it's either really big name players, lesser big name players, or in some cases, picks for future drafts, where you could say, I'm going to give you LeBron James and picks for the next draft,
Yeah,
and
and
that
the
could
next
even
one,
help
next
you
one.
even
Yeah.
more so.
It's crazy that we're like buying and selling people.
Yeah.
And to give you perspective on what the Brooklyn Nets did this summer is they sold all of their assets. We have fucking nothing anymore. So it's gonna be
We
nice.
still have 7 of the same players.
7 of the same players,
Yeah.
and one of them only played fucking 12 games last season.
Don't worry, one day they'll be really good.
Don't worry, Ben Simmons is gonna play amazing this season. He's
can't-
totally gonna play more than 5 games.
I cannot wait, guys. In a week, the highlight video of him hitting threes drops, guys. It comes out every
Bro,
year.
the highlight video of him in a gym drops. It's like, oh, he's fucking lifting.
Oh, he's
stuff.
lifting. Oh, he lifted it too hard. He's not playing this year.
To perspective, the Brooklyn Nets have a player named Ben Simmons.
I was picking that
who
up.
at one point was a very good basketball player,
For 2
and then
years,
just
yeah.
decided he didn't want to play basketball anymore. But they keep giving him millions of dollars, and I don't get it.
So is he still playing for them?
yeah,
Yeah.
but no,
Okay.
yeah. To be fair, I think at first it was like the back injury, and he had to come back from that. But then after that, it was like mental health reasons. But like low key, I guess the controversial part of that is it went on for like 2 seasons, and it was like, when is
he coming back?
when are you gonna be better? You know? And then in that time, Brooklyn got him because he wasn't a good asset anymore, and yada yada yada. But fucking trades. Glad we got to explain that. Yeah, thanks.
It's usually a good player for, a guy who will be good in 3 years. You know?
Okay.
Yeah, something like that.
Anybody got any last things to spin it into?
Oh, I got nothing.
You got nothing?
I got nothing, man.
None.
My pockets, nothing.
None.
Spirit
Yeah, I was gonna mention the the new fucking lady that they have in Linkin Park.
Oh,
What's her
yeah,
name?
The Scientologist.
Yeah, because they have an album that's coming out this year in November. So it's like they're gonna release a whole album with this new lady.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Oh, wow.
She's already created controversy for herself.
Yeah.
I heard.
Mhm.
So I mean, we'll see.
I mean, she spoke on it. It was tasteful in my opinion. The whole thing with that was that she used to be friends with Danny Masterson, the guy from That 70s Show that was convicted of rape. But she was like, I removed myself from him as soon as like I found that out, and she was like, obviously I stand with the women. I don't want anybody to go through those experiences. And I was like, yeah, fair.
Sounds about right.
Moved on from it.
Which one got the articles were making it look like she was awful. It was like, in her religion, in Scientology, you don't snitch on them. Like, you gotta keep it, you hide that to the grave.
No, yeah, that is sketchy as fuck. But one thing I will say about that, I actually haven't seen like any of the tour footage that's dropped because you know they've already performed shows and stuff. But I actually saw them do like a performance of, I think it was Bleed It Out, like 4 months ago, and it was with her, and people were already speculating that she was going to be like the new replacement singer, and it was actually decent when I saw it.
Yeah,
I can hear it. I can
hear it.
The thing with her, and you have to keep in mind, like obviously no one's ever going to replace Chester Bennington. Like dude was a legend. But his whole thing was like the intensity he brought to the songs,
Right.
and she delivers, I won't say the same kind of intensity, but the same amount of intensity. Like it's not the same flavor, but it's the same amount. You know what I mean?
The same
Like she
amount.
comes in hard. Like when she
Yeah.
needs to scream, she screams. When she comes in, but it's not Chester the way.
Yeah,
he
it's
did
not
it.
Chester.
But
It's pretty close. Is
at
what you're
the
saying.
end of the day, I think I'm happy for Mike. You know, like Mike Shinoda deserves it. He fucking.
he couldn't bring back Fort Minor, so
Linkin Park is his baby. I mean,
Fort Minor was.
it's 100% reason to remember the name, Dylan.
The math doesn't add up.
It doesn't. We should figure out that math one day on the podcast.
I think it might add up.
I'm gonna print out the lyrics. We're gonna give Jerry a highlighter, and Jerry, you're gonna have to figure out the actual percentages.
I think
Fort
it
Minor.
does all add up to 100% reason to remember the
To
name.
remember the name.
I think it does.
I don't know about that.
We'll
I'm
check
pretty
it
sure
out.
it's like
We'll have to-
716%.
You think?
Yeah.
I think
Sketch
it's
it
like
out.
it's either 100 or like 140. I think.
We'll see. We'll
Yeah.
see. I'm either very right or very wrong. Anyway, speaking of music, it is now time for Jam, Yam,
was looking
Bam,
for
and
that.
Slam
I was looking for that shit.
of the week.
I'm looking for that shit.
If you're looking for that shit, would you like to start that shit?
No,
Oh, cool.
because I'm looking for that shit.
I'll be happy to start. Real quick, in typical Bobby fashion, I'm going to shout out a song that's not even the song I'm going to pick. But it's because I played it for Dylan earlier, and it's a pretty neat song. It's a song by Jabot, and it's called Flatulence is My Prison. And the best way I can describe it is an electronic song made of farts, but it's good. But every like 20 seconds, it reminds you that it's a fart, if that makes sense. Like you'll be lost in the song, you'll be like, yeah, and then there'll just be like a little fart sound effect. But the actual song is gonna go to "The Cake Is a Lie" by Ericdoa, who is slowly but surely becoming one of my new favorite artists.
That's the portal. Y'all and Dylan?
Yeah, my song is "Smoke" by Toro y Moi on his new album, featuring Kenny Mason. So Kenny makes it on again.
Wow,
That
with
is,
Toro, that's kind of cool.
Which they already have a song together.
I didn't know that.
Toro featured on one of his songs, but he's like at the end.
Okay.
But this one is like both of them back and forth, and it's interesting. I think it's a rap album. I think.
I wanna
I'm not
listen
sure.
to this.
There's a lot of hi-hats. There's a lot of 808s.
I like that. I mean,
But it's still like Tori Moore, like we can eat a sundae. You know,
Okay,
he's like
okay.
very. It's still like
Gotcha,
very like
gotcha.
childish. But no, it's good.
cool.
Great song.
My song is gonna go to a song that I played at the party. It's called "Jason" by The Midnight. It's a very 80s synth song. My girlfriend showed it to me. I think it's just has a coincidence that the name is Jason. You have to kiss yourself. I get it. But I think it was about a guy that she liked named Jason, and he was very like trying to ghost her. And then it just so happened that
Jason's a ghost. Whoa.
Murderer in LA.
Real quick, what's the actual classification of that? He's like a wraith, or what is it? Because he's like a physical ghost. What's like the? There's got to
I don't know, to be honest.
Got to be a
I'm,
classification.
I'm in my Wraith.
I'm gonna look it up. Go ahead, Jerry.
All right, so my song of the week is gonna be a song called "Brickmile to Montana." It's by Boldy James and Benny the Butcher, and it's actually produced by the Alchemist. It's a pretty good song.
Wow.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Wow, pretty chill song.
Wow. Wow.
What's the
It's a thin line. Some people I get apparently it's a revenant.
A revenant.
This is interesting. Apparently
Covenant.
Apparently, according to Freddy versus what the fuck? Oh, that's what it is. I forgot. They did a comic book that. Did you hear about this? I think we talked about it, Joey. That when they did Freddy versus Jason versus Friday the 13th. Oh, Freddy versus Friday versus Evil Dead. It was like the three of them together.
Yeah.
Apparently, the Necronomicon refers to Jason as being a revenant. So that's what he is technically. But apparently, on Jason Voorhees' Wikipedia article, he's a mongoloid creature, which is way funny. So what it says, it's right there. I'll put it there,
bro.
But
That's a better way
outs.
to describe it.
Great, guys. Now this is demonetized.
Thanks for that. Hey, if Wikipedia says it, we can say it. It's clear as day.
And we
Clear
can
as
show the
day.
whole movie right now.
I referenced the quote. Okay, that's not wrong.
We get cut video copy strike.
Anyway, thanks for watching the Joystick Show, episode 250. We've been Team Joystick. If you like that, you can go ahead and like this episode, and you can subscribe to Team Joystick. Next week, feel free to join us when we're gonna do something. We're gonna do something fun and dangerous. What are we doing, Dill? What are we doing, Dill? What are we doing that's fun and dangerous in this basement?
Jet skiing.
Jet skiing.
Chainsaw smoking.
What?